Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Leslie, and if you haven't been here before, you've wandered across my little corner of the internet. Uh, if you were looking for videos last week, I apologize. As you can still hear, I am still sick. In fact, everybody in the house has this cold, including my grandson, who has not only the cold but is teething and decided, on top of all of that, to add an ear infection to the list. So things here have been hectic, exhausting, and fun. What can I say? But that does not stop my creativity, it just slows it down. And I found the cutest little diorama on, where did I get it? Maker Online. So that is the one for the Anycubic. And it's adorable. It's printing beautifully. There are a million and one pieces to select from. The only one I had trouble with in the whole list was the skeleton. So this morning I picked a different skeleton and we're going to use it. But let's go down to the table and I will show you exactly what I am talking about. So I'm keeping all of my little pieces in this container because there are a lot of them. We have, let me pull this back some. We have the pumpkin top, the pumpkin house, we have the base, we have a tree, because every house needs a tree. We have one of the spider webs. We have a wall. We have window frames and a door and a door frame. We have yet another spider's web. We have a little bench for our skeleton to sit on, I hope. We have a spider, a cat, a rest in peace graveyard sign, a 666 sign. You can just see the detail in that. A couple of ghosts have come to guard our house. Yet another spider web. And my favorite piece of all is this little zombie. I don't know if you can see the colors on him, but he is a green black. And I wish I knew where this filament came from because it is absolutely my favorite. So I'm going to swing you over this way. That is where our skeletons are printing. And I'm hoping that they are not too big for my diorama. They might be. I might have to use them for something else. And then I am very gently going to swing you around some more. Bye. Sorry if I make you seasick. And right there, we are now going to be printing the cauldron for the diorama. So that is the Anycubic. And it is printing the cauldron. In the meantime, we can start some assembly. This is the part that I love the best, is assembling and seeing how my creations actually turn out. So I think the first thing that I will do is slip in the door frame. You can see where the opening is for the door, makes it very easy. And we just slide it in like that. Isn't that nice and simple? I am going to place some glue do use a super glue that is not sponsored, by the way. And I see I already forgot to tell you where it came from, so I will do that in just a moment. Like I said, it came off of Maker World. It was by Danna, so Dana. And it is a free file. So that is great. But like I said, it does consist of a lot of pieces. What I like, one of the things that I like best is that while it consists of a lot of pieces, the maker, the designer, has very kindly broken them down. So I have been printing pieces all week. I don't have to worry about it like running overnight or anything because I can print them a bit at a time. So I did the door frame, the doors, and the window frames all at the same time on the same plate. But then when I wanted to do the sign and the tree, they came at the same time on the same plate, but at a different time. Let me see if I can explain this. Each color is done on its own plate at a separate time. That's how I want to explain it. It made it so easy because I didn't have to worry about things running overnight. I don't really worry anymore, but at the same time, I do, if that makes sense. Now, one of the things you're going to have to watch for is what I just did. Whoops, let me rewipe here. I like to get my glue all off in case. Is you have to watch. There is definitely an angle to the window, and you want that angle, that high point, to point out the window. And that way, you know you've got it assembled correctly. And it just slides in there so nice. By the way, I'm barely putting in any glue at all. This stuff does not take a lot to make things stick. And once you get it in there, make sure you truly have it in there, because there is no popping it in and out and all about. Oops. By the way, if you glue it to your finger, good luck. A little bit of nail polish remover will remove any excess glue that may have been left on that you weren't quick enough to wash off. No. There we go. That's better. Line it up at the back. Sorry, guys. This is very hard to see, I know, but that's what it's going to look like. Okay? I love when designers make it an easy assembly process. I mean, how much easier can you get than this, right? And I love that we can pick our own colors. I still think that that is one of the best things about 3D prints. I was at the dollar store the other day, and they have their Halloween stuff out. But I am able to create most of it at home. Oops. In the colors that I want them to be in. They don't have to be in the colors that everybody else has. And I really, truly love that. So this is the long part of 3D printing. When you're doing separate plates, you want to be patient. And you want to be sure that you're getting everything glued down the way that you want it. And by excess glue, I'll show you what I mean here in one sec. You can see a bit of white there on the bottom. That will come off with nail polish remover when I clean it up. Now our hat, our chapeau, as they called it in the thing, fits on a certain way, and I will just play with it. Oops, maybe let me face it to me until I get it. No, that's not it. Just keep playing with it until you get it. I am not gluing it on, but I am gluing on the two ghosts, and they go in the hat. So, let me see here which way they will go. This is the fun part. It's like a jigsaw puzzle that you have to complete. Just a dab of glue, get it on, and I always hold it for a second. Oops. Hold it in there. Oh, maybe some. Hang on, guys. I don't think I put quite enough. I'll put it on the inside, and that way it can fill up the space when I place my ghost in. There we go. So there we go. Ghosty is in. And I'll just be patient for a second. And now let's see how this guy goes in. Okay. We got this one. And this is what I do. I print off some pieces, and once I'm a little bit ahead, while other pieces print, I will go ahead and just start gluing things together and seeing where we are. Honestly, it is fun, and I'm really enjoying it. As soon as I figure out how my hat goes on, if you're not sure and you really can't figure it out, take a moment to check on your picture online, and you'll be able to line it up that way. But there we go. That is the way that's going to look. I love that. I really do. Now, did I print him off yet is the question. No, but there is going to be an owl up there. So once I print my owl off, I will put him up there. Now the door, if you can see in there, there's kind of an outline, and the door is going to slide back against that outline. So I am very carefully going to put some glue along the frame so that when it slides in, whew, it will be able to stick. There we go. And slide it in. Now, I did not just use one machine. I used three. I used the Anycubic S1 that I gave you a look at earlier. And I used the Anycubic Max, which is in the other room, to the Max did the hat, this, and the base. Okay. And in the little pieces, I've been using the, oh my goodness, let me show you this. Hang on 1 second, I just noticed this. We have joyfully made spaghetti out of our skeleton. So I will have to clean that up and start it over again. That is the joys of 3D printing. Sometimes it works, and sometimes you make spaghetti. So there we go. Now, as I was saying, I have gone back and forth between the machines. I have not used the same machine over and over again, and as you can see, it does not matter. I have no issues with getting things to fit. So here we go. We're adding our wall. Now, at some point, I have not decided yet, I will probably end up taking some paint or some rub-ons or whatnot and adding some highlights to things like the wall, the pumpkin, things like that. Just to give it some extra character. But I have not decided yet whether I'm going to do that or I'm going to leave it the way it is in order to display it and show people how it came out rather than, whoops, what I turned it into. Now these go right in here like so. I need to print one more. I'm not sure how it got missed in the making thereof, but it did. But those will glue right into place. They did not, unfortunately, print perfectly, but they can still be used because they are spider webs, and spider webs are never perfect. Come on, view in. The detail is still there. You still know what it is. It just needs some help. Now we'll get the tree on. Come on, glue. There we go. This should be the long part. And then it goes, and we hold it for a second. And really, this is part of the whole 3D printing process. So if you print in multiple plates, you don't get as much filament waste because, like with the pumpkin here, I printed all orange. Then I printed the brown and put it in myself, right? But if I decided to do it all as one piece, it would do a layer of orange, a layer of orange, a layer of orange till it got to the door. Then it would do orange to there, brown, orange, and so on and so forth. So every time it hit a brown area or a black area, if I was doing it all in one piece, it would have to change color. So you get a lot of waste. So what I'm trying to tell you is it's a trade-off. Do you want the waste or do you want to be able to save on filament and put it together yourself? Those are decisions that you have to make for yourself. And of course, it also depends. Does it come in one piece only, or can you do it in multiple pieces, or are you going to redesign it so that you can do it in multiples? All these are decisions that you have to make. So while 3D printing is fun, it's still work. Don't ever make the mistake of thinking that it isn't, okay, guys? However, is it worth it? For sure. I love that if I decide today that my Halloween is going to be done in pinks and purples, I have that ability, right? That's what makes 3D printing awesome. That's what makes selling 3D prints awesome, because people come to me and say, I want it in this color, and I can go, oh, okay, no big deal. Let's do it. Our bench is going to go right there. And I will show you. Hang on one sec. Sorry, guys. But our little cauldron is done. And it is in the green black. I just love that color. Oh my. Now, anybody who does 3D prints will tell you that you are going to get strings. It is unavoidable. It is the nature of the beast. You can see a few of them on this spider web. So what you do is you grab one of these, you unlock it, you very carefully just go over it. Like this, and it'll mount those spider webs right away for you. Okay? You want to be very careful not to hold still in one place or not to burn your fingers. So you may want to have a pair of tweezers handy for smaller pieces. Okay? And it just removes all those fine little, I guess we could call them spider webs. Oh, I think I'm out of butane. Yeah, I am out of butane. So we will just leave that there. But this is what I am going to spend the rest of my day catching up on, is getting this assembled. Let me put this here so that we can see how it turns out. There we go. We'll just hold it there for a second. I do, of course, want to leave the hat removable. Why, you ask? I want to put a tea light in there. I want to grab a tea light. Oh, shoot. I just sent them all to my daughter. I want to buy and grab a tea light and put it in there. And it will show a glow, of course, behind the doors and through the windows. And I think that will be cool. Our little spider webs will go in there. I cannot remember where this one goes. I will look at my picture. Like I said, our bench will drop in there. In fact, let's drop it. Now, what's coming up, you ask? Well, I'm excited because on Friday, I am going to show you a new method of sublimation that I just learned. We are going to sublimate on wood using polyacrylic. We're going to make a very cute sign that I found on Creative Fabrica. And I am using a base from the dollar store. So, if you want to play along, you can find yourself a sign on Creative Fabrica or just anywhere on the internet. You can print it off in your printer. If you have a sublimation printer, you can sublimate it. If you don't, you can just Mod Podge it onto your sign. And we can sit and craft together if you like. So here we go, guys. I am going to keep on keeping on here. Just adding my little pieces and getting things all squared away so that we can move on to another project with these printers. There's always another project around the corner, especially since you consider that we've got what? We're in September. Wow. October, November, 3 months. And we're right on top of Christmas. Lord help us all. So there we go. Oh, come on, mister. There we go. Now he will stick there. And I think I just remembered where my spider web goes. I'm pretty sure it's going to end up in these holes. A little bit of finagling and it'll be right in there, just like so. So there we go, guys. I will keep piecing it together, and at the beginning of the next video I hope to show you the completed project. So stay tuned to see how she turns out. Take care, guys, and I will see you again soon in whatever comes next. Bye.